Hi there guys, this is Cassandra. I'm a Riffle in Time and I'm so glad you're here. Today we are doing a fun tag from Cosmic Creeper, Oracles with Attitudes. I really love this. I have to say I agree that a lot of like tarot decks kind of have that like bitey kind of energy, but most of my oracles have like that kind of softening around the edges. A lot of it is like reframing heavy things into like this beautiful or lighter thing. Most of the keywords are really like kind of softer. So like the hug deck idea, I think I've seen a lot of those memes too, and I think they're funny. I would say that most people would consider me like a hug deck. I am like really sweet and cute and happy, and I do have, obviously, I have some attitude. I have like that kind of personality to me, but I do come off a lot like Oracle deck probably. So I thought this was fun though to like think of my Oracle decks that have a little bit of attitude. Now, the one deck that's probably a little bit of a cheat on here is going to be Outgrow Yourself, because Outgrow Yourself is a tarot oracle. So a little bit cheating, but it just was like one of the first decks that I thought about, where I'm thinking about decks that just tell me how it is. And I think that there's still a lot of like sweeter cards on here, but like it's still like forward. It's like, what is limiting your growth? Don't invite everyone to your castle. But there are some that are like really they bite a little harder. But then these are the cards I'm thinking of more of, like, don't drown yourself in a glass of water. And like when you get that card and you need to hear that card, it's like, yikes. He who learns must suffer. Cruelty is the highest pleasure. There's just a lot of hide your secrets under the tree of the devil. How do I start valuing myself as a card I pulled? And I was just like, like, again, it's just like kind of like bitey, little stabby. Why do you ask what you already know? Like, come on, like that sass there. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Again, there are some cards that are just like middle of the road, but like Outgrow Yourself. Again, it just feels like it really like is straightforward in a way that I already kind of need. So, are you wasting your time? Like, it just asks you very directly, or says to you very directly, burn it to the ground. You know, it's just, this is definitely not a deck that I think of as a hug deck. So if you do, your hugs might be a little rougher than mine. So though that might be a little bit of a cheat because it's a tarot deck, I still had to include it. And then I brought out some decks that we're going to talk it through together. There are some I know, like the next two I will share. They're like, absolutely. It was like, I thought of No Filter almost immediately. No Filter is, it doesn't have a filter. Calm the F down. But like there are some that aren't as bad as like Transform Anxiety into Excitement, but that excuse is no longer valid though. I mean, mind your own business. It can't always be everyone else's fault. Don't be in the business of keeping score. Like, it's so funny. Not recognizing that it's a problem is the problem. Just really be real, not rude, honest, not mean. And I think that's what this deck is. It's not like absolutely, like when I'm thinking of these decks, I'm not thinking of like mean decks, obviously, but I'm thinking of like straightforward, not rude, but real. Like if I need an honest answer, No Filter's got me. Like it's gonna give it to me straight. It's gonna give me the tea piping. So other decks I think of when I think of real like truth tellers, one of these decks I'm gonna show you is out of print. It will not come back in print. Do not ask Pakara about it. So don't get me in trouble. This is those cards in the liminal space, which the newer version of this is Visions in the liminal space. But these decks both give me very attitude energy. And so like You're Not Alone in This Uncertain Place is obviously a more positive card. It's not that deep. Memory Lane definitely gives me like Memory Lane being an alley with a dumpster and trash in it, you know? A lot of these cards though, like even like not normal, they're not bitey, but they're just like not that kind of like really positive, like self-improvement, supportive kind of vibes and ways. What is chaos to the fly is harmony to the spider. Not my monkeys, not my circus. This is definitely no one is coming for you. So yeah, so this is the out of print one. This is postcards. Postcards will give you a little bit of a bite. I think that there's still a lot of like really positive cards too though, so it's a good balance. But be groovy or leave, man. This is Visions in the Liminal Space. This is the one I stock in the shop. But there's still trust the process, cosmic fuckery though, you know what I mean? Like when the universe is just laughing at you. And sometimes it does that. Maybe next time. But there's still butterfly dreams. Like there's still what? It takes a curse to break a curse. Spell it out. Hiding in plain sight is the one card that I swear is like trolling me. When I get it, I'm like, thanks. Thanks. The answer is hiding in plain sight. I obviously don't see it. Let it break. But it does give me that like sassy kind of energy. Enough is a feast. No vacancy. Now, again, there's cards from this deck that I tattooed on my skin to remind myself of like what kind of time is important in my life and what I'm like looking for. There's also cord cutting rituals, and you may never know. Another card that I'm like, thanks. Beware nostalgia. Acceptance is the answer. An eye for an eye with a bucket full of eyeballs. So this deck definitely gives me kill your darlings. Another one that I'm like, because it's one of those moments is like, you know, Storm and Fury. I do really love the concept of energy follows intention. This is one I like really like. This is a, why do you not want to focus right now? Thank you. It gives a lot of, like, of my beliefs about life as that. Kneel before no one. We went over this, and actually you might not see this. I have things to talk to you about, but this is in a members only video. I haven't told you about that yet, but we will talk about that soon. Maybe I'll do it at the end of this video, but the Hell Train is in this. Okay, I gotta stop. This deck is like one of my perfect examples of a deck with attitude though. The Liminal Space decks. So next up is a deck actually that was mentioned in the original video that was part of this tag. I think Iris has always been like cheeky to me, and Broken and Hatched, I think that a lot of it is like hiding, just again straightforward. Let out the wolves. There are some of these that, like, even though there are the one who hides the sun, it's just like really confronting to situations maybe that you don't want to look at. And I think that is what tarot always does to me. It makes me like really take a look in the mirror. And when I find an oracle deck who also does that, I really love. There's Make Believe, Inside Looking Out, Body as a House. Love Grows Love though. Death of the Deceitful. But there's still like sweet cards like the Gallery of Those Who Came Before. Everything You Need Too Soon. Oh, that is always a horrible feeling. The Lonely Journey of the Priestess. I think this deck just does a really beautiful job of even like the Ungrateful Daughter and the Earthly Mother. I just really love this deck. Restlessness. I swear to you, when I see this card, I feel restless. It does such a good job of really just confronting things and like representing them in a way that like I don't have another deck that does it like this. Suppression of a Star Being by Unworthy Hands. This is one of those ones, like, when I'm just like, I know, why am I avoiding it? It's like there are just situations that this will point out for you, that there's the Heart Eater, green. I never like getting green. I don't like the envy. But it's just such a good deck, and it really is, I feel like, so there's 78 cards, so I think it really does a great job of like the whole spectrum of emotions and situations. It just does such a good job representing so much in this deck. And I don't think it's a hug deck. I do think there are some supportive cards, but like I think it's just like really upfront, really good at representing like the spectrum of things. And I love that about this deck. I honestly, though I am quite the sweetness, I don't love a deck that's just too, how do I put this? So like sometimes things aren't okay. Like you're in a situation, or you're like looking at things or doing things, and when someone tells you like something's, oh, it's gonna be okay, it's like, well, I know that, but it's not helping right now, Becky. You know? So I love a good deck that will like be like, yeah, that sucks. This sucks. This is a situation. Another deck I have that I thought of, which is by the same creator. I love, okay, I don't think I've actually told you guys about this. So this is a deck that is by the same creators, Outgrow Yourself, and somebody else, I think. Maybe not. Maybe I'm crazy. But this is a deck that's out of print that comes from the podcast. And I think it's like the Act to Spaman podcast. And I've always like seen it on Instagram. I really didn't even know the name of it. I just like have always been like eyeing it, and I'm like, gosh, where is that deck from? I wonder if there's a way I could get that deck. Like, and I ended up getting this deck as a gift from the creator, which is probably one of the coolest things that's ever happened to me. No, it just was like such a sweet, like loving act, but don't lose your head. I mean, this is very Outgrow Yourself energy, but I think this is sometimes like a little bitier than even Stop Waiting, It'll Never Happen. You're one decision away. If you love something, set it free. Kill your ego. This deck is just so funny. And I'm just really grateful and lucky to have it. But I think this is a perfect example of a deck that is really good at being just really straightforward. The devil is in the details. Don't waste your time waiting. This deck has given me some really, find what you love and let it kill you. Worrying is suffering twice. I've gotten this card so many times. It says a lot. It says a lot. Put a spell on it. I love this deck. I am sorry for sharing out of print decks today. I really try hard not to. Another deck that I feel like just doesn't give me the hug vibes is the Davos of Creation. I've been using this for my month ahead and have been getting Red the Boots the Mama down. Like, I don't know why it does this to me. Now, first off, this deck already, like, it doesn't have any words on it, which I love. I let the images being really confronting for me, and I read the guidebook, obviously, but I just always seem to be getting a good reminder to like get out of my own way. And like, yeah, this is definitely a deck that just seems to always be giving me the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. I think that it's just really upfront. It's like, this requires self-awareness, the ability to face our demons and willing to crack the veneer we present to the world. It's just, we may be tempted to create a storm, harness the lightning, and go to war for our beliefs. However, wars often create more problems than they solve. Like, it's just like, if you wish to make a difference, think first. Like, come on. Like, it's just matter of fact, I think, is what this deck is for me. It's like a lot of like the guidebook is the mountain signifies bleakness, bleak coldness and difficulty, a sense of fearsome aloofness and humanity. Whatever we see in this deva, it's important to acknowledge what we are projecting onto it. Again, just very matter of fact. Just matter of fact. There's no like, a lot of decks try to like reframe things so that they like, it's like if it's a negative thing, they try to reframe in a positive light, and this deck's just like, this is what it is, period. Like, okay. The next one might be a surprise. This is the Gringlyph Oracle. And though, again, there might be some like huggy or lovey vibes in it, like positive vibes, I think there are a lot of cards in this deck. One I want to go to because it looks just like really pretty. So I'll still show you the things, but broken glass. In the middle of a daydream, your arm knocks the glass off the counter. It shatters on the floor. Where was your mind a minute before? Now below your feet, small danger lurks in sharp shards. You immediately feel foolish for something that could have been avoided. Like, there are some cards that are like, not again that they're all punchy like that, but again, I feel like it says what it needs to say. The one I'm thinking of is fig. This one's talking about how like a fig is like a delectable treat. It says, do you take a bite or do you shy away to save the sweetness for later? The ripeness will only last so long before the fig becomes too soft and tasteless. I'm just like, yes. There are so many more. I'm trying to think of ones that I've pulled before. I like the giant tooth is like, a giant tooth crashes to the ground. It seems alive. It reminds you of your fears, the things you hope would never come true. Here you are alone, wondering if this is happening or is it just a dream? What is it doing here? What are you doing here? Ah! The ghost, it's like talking about, you're unsure who hides underneath. You thought you laid this thing to rest, but it still seems to have unfinished business. Are you ready to peel away the sheet and face what's underneath? Oh, I love the lost parrot. This is the one I was looking for. You come across a flyer for a lost parrot stapled to a telephone pole. You rip off a phone number as if you'll ever find a missing bird. You can't hold on to something that was never truly yours to begin with. Ugh! I got that and I'm like, yikes! It just feels really, really great that it's not trying to make everything so light, and I really love this deck. I'm gonna read the whole guidebook if I don't stop. So let's stop and just look at some of the cards. They just are what they are. It's a paint can, you know what I mean? Like, I think it's really nice that they all are pretty. So that's maybe why somebody wouldn't think of this deck, because like they're thinking of it aesthetically as just like a really beautiful deck, maybe. Because I don't see this as like something that comes straight to someone's head, but if you've gotten the Lost Parrot, you know, if you've gotten some of these cards and have been like mouth open, you might think of this deck. I think these decks in general are just really amazingly done, and I think it's, again, just a really straightforward, not trying to like make a situation that is bad better. It's just like what it is. It's just saying how it is. Don't you just love somebody who just says it how it is? Not in a mean way, but just in an honest way. How beautiful. How beautiful who is someone who can just sit with you in an uncomfortable feeling and just be like, wow, that's uncomfortable. That sucks. I'm sorry that like that feels that way, because I can imagine how much that would be. So next, these might be cheating too, because these are technically mini divvies and no one knows what that means, but it's what it is. I'm taking them as little like kind of like little divination cards, and Oracle is a divination deck. It's gonna work for me. But I've shown these off a little bit. The ghost town, maybe where you are at doesn't serve you anymore. Move along. The Victorian Ghost. Many greats live in the past, but that's not where you belong. But there are some, again, sweeter, your kind heart will show through. Some things are worth your anger and some are not worth your energy. Your lack of awareness is killing me. Your inner child is holding you back. Seek a higher truth. You're not stuck, you just need some new inspiration. I think that what I will say about this tag is it's making me really appreciate the decks that I have that do a really good job of both, of being like attitude, but also like they have like the full spectrum there. Some questions have no answers, and the hungrier you become, the more you starve. Yow. But this is the Ghosts, by the way. This is Ghost. Is that the Ghost I have set back for somebody? That might be the Ghost. I don't actually know if I have one in the shop. So I'm going to show you more. This is Omens. I have some of the last copies of these decks that are like out there right now. I did talk to her, and I didn't know these were supposed to be like a one print and that's it kind of vibe. But I talked to her about there are some of these that like people really love. We had a conversation about it, and she said that when she does the Kickstarter for the next decks that's coming up soon, I think it's coming up in the next couple months. She said that she's like thinking about releasing or like reprinting a few of the like most loved ones to add on as a Kickstarter bonus, like if you want to get that too. So that might be a thing. So I have no more messages, and I might be out of Ghost, but I have the rest right now. But not all of them will be reprinted. I don't know what the situation is, but I just need to tell you that because I might be showing you another out of print deck in this video. So Ghost might be out of print now. Let's find some of the... This is Omens. A bird flies in your house. A family tradition will end soon. Dropping a comb, a dropped connection. A black cat crosses your path. Beware of those whose intentions are disguised. So I think that this one is like literally like omens, good omens, bad omens. A bird poops on you. A rare opportunity is about to present itself to you. Opening an umbrella indoors. An injury or something is broken. A broom falls across the doorway. It's time to bar someone or something from your life. Upside down horseshoe. Your luck is running out. So there's like, it's a whole array of different ideas. I think Ghost might be, hopefully, might be one of the ones that get to come back though, because I think Ghost is like one of her best sellers. So if you liked that first one. Jumping through time, not choosing is a choice. Be brave and make the decision. Stranger at a house party. Are you on the outside looking in, or is your anxiety talking? This is Dreams, by the way. Falling. It's all going so fast. Holding hands with an ex. What is it that you can't let go of? Kidnapped. You only think you're stuck, but you can easily free yourself. Again, really just straightforward. I love it. Next, I'm doing Curiosities. I won't show you messages since I don't have it. And I'm not sure if that one's coming back. Wait, does she have messages? I'll show it to you then. It depends on how you look at it. Don't forget what's on the inside. Delicious or dangerous? Time to examine a little closer. All eyes on you. Hold on. Beware of unlocking burdens disguised as opportunities. The past is anything but buried. Don't let it eat you up. It's an end instead of the end. It's kind of marked out. It's cool. Are you going to kick that wasp nest? You need to see things in a new way. Asking until you hear what you want to hear does not equal guidance. If I would have got that, I would have been like snatched the way. Beware the gift with strings attached. I I really love these. This is Curiosities, if I didn't say that. This is the one that has the cute little two-headed duck. Where are you, ducky? I love you so much. There's no way I skipped the duck. I wouldn't do that. Embrace the unexpected. I love this little two-headed duck. It's so sweet. So cute. There's me with my secret cutesy things, and when I think something's sweet and cutesy, it has two heads, so. Perfect. Slow down. This one's messages. Maybe it's time to start that dialogue. Messages seems a little sweeter to me usually. Make good use of your precious time. It's not that serious though, you know. One size never fits all. This is not permanent. It's time to focus ahead. Not quite milk. Don't let it consume you. I do love like the lighter ones on this too though. On the road to a good place. It's okay to be a sucker for what you love. It's not over yet. It can all change on a dime. I love how these are like kind of cheeky though. If it's wrong, don't do it though. Like, straightforward. You're not everyone's taste, and that's a good thing. You will always pay for it in the end. I love like these little, it's a receipt. You know what I mean? How smart is that? I really love I love these. This one, I guess this one's kind of opposites. This is a little weird. I like to use these as like little theme cards kind of, and I can still read these. It's like depending on the orientation, lie versus truth, secrets versus openness, dull versus sharp, loyalty versus betrayal, I think. Yes. I can't read upside down backwards, but slow, fast, loose, tight. We have dry, wet. So these are just like, again, very matter of fact. These are just things. And I usually kind of use them as, again, as a kind of theme for the reading. It's like I'll kind of like what we're focusing on, or like, it's like, what does this relate to? And sometimes I'll pull like one of those, but a lot of times I just use them by themselves and like kind of riff off of the concepts. But those were at least what I thought of, like my first thoughts of my maybe like some of my like cheekier decks, some of my more straightforward decks. I have a lot of decks that have variety, but still a good bit of Oracle decks feel like, especially in the guidebook, they just go into a little of a softer, loving, like reframing for the good kind of vibe, which I think we all need. I think there is always a time and the place for all types of decks. If you really love those types of decks, I'm never saying bad things about that. You know how many decks I have that are like sweet to me. It's like, please don't hurt my feelings. Please don't hurt my feelings. I mean, I'm wearing a shirt that says you matter, so I'm never talking bad about positivity, but I do really love a deck that can call me out when I need it, because I need it sometimes. And I know, but I need it to remind me that I know. You know what I mean? But this was fun. I had a really good time like going through. I looked at more cards than maybe you did probably. I read more than maybe you did probably, but hopefully I will do a good job at cutting that out. If you've been here this long, thanks for being here. Thanks for hanging out with me the whole time, even though I was up to my nonsense as usual. I need to stop this video. It's like 50 minutes long. I'm gonna have to trim so much out of this. I love you.